Hey, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining me once again. This is the Ox Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Big Book, aka Ox. And before we get started, do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified anytime I drop any new content. All right, let's get started. I wanted to recap the Lions-Arizona game over the weekend. 20-13 win for Detroit. And a couple good things before I read over some of the stats. It looks like we finally got back to Detroit Lion football. Smash the ball, ground and pound, and then let Jared Goff play off that. So I'm glad that we got back to what makes us successful, because last week Jared Goff throwing the ball 55 times and us rushing 27 times. That is not a recipe to win, and you saw it. The more Jared Goff, I say anything over 32 passes, 33 passes, we're getting into a danger zone for Jared. You know, he becomes more prone to throwing bad passes, throwing interceptions, being jittery in the pocket. We keep him around that, anywhere from 20 to 32. He's very effective, still very accurate. And I think that is the recipe, that's the formula for the Lions to make a deep playoff run, hopefully Super Bowl. Some of the stats from the game. Jared Goff was 18 for 23 for 199 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. David Montgomery, 23 attempts for 105 yards, 1 touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, 16 attempts for 83 yards. As far as receiving, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7 for 75 yards and a touchdown. Laporta had 2 receptions for 36 yards. Brock Wright, 4 for 34. And then Gibbs on the hook and ladder. Great play, great play. Who thinks about doing that in the middle of a football game, man? Dan Campbell, he has a lot of tricks in his bag, and I'm glad he pulled that one out. That was a great play. Gibbs, the one for 20 yards and a TD. Hutchinson, he had another sack. But the bad thing is that was the only sack. We got to put some pressure. Coming opposite Hutchinson. And now with the injury to Marcus Davenport, who is probably out for the year, he was put on IR along with Derek Barnes, the linebacker. It's not going to hurt us as much as Davenport, but we really need to go and we really need to look and see who's available out there. If you don't know Frank Ragnow, he has a partially torn pec. It happened towards the end of the game. He is probably the most important person on that offense besides Jared Goff. He calls all the protections. The Lions have a running scheme that's very intricate. So he's the one that yells out where the mic is and if they should slide right or left, and what they need to do in their pass protection. He's very intricate. He's very important. He's gonna try to go Monday night, and I hope he can. I've had a partially torn pec before, and it hurts. It hurts bad. There's a lot of things you can't do, but I wasn't an offensive lineman in the NFL, so I don't know if it affects him to where he can or can't play. So we will see. The word is right now is he's going to try to play. So hopefully he can press on and get through that. If not, we got to bye next week, and then hopefully, if he needs to sit for a couple weeks, we can get by without him. And hey, they say next man up, but the center is a very important position. Arizona, Kyler Murray was 21 for 34 with 200 yards, basically 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But what I did like is, man, that defense did play great. They did play great. Even though they had 1 sack, they caused a lot of pressure back there for Kyler Murray. He was their leading rusher, 5 for 45. Basically, James Conner did nothing. 9 carries for 17 yards. Marvin Harrison Jr., as far as receptions, 5 for 64 with a touchdown. Michael Wilson 8 catches for 64 yards, really nothing there. The defense did great. The defense did great. They basically carried us the second half because the offense didn't score. I don't know what's going on right now, man. Our offense needs to step it up. I understand, guys don't play in the preseason. So this is like their preseason. This is the third game. Starting Monday, we need to be in our groove. We really do, because we haven't been there for the whole game. We've been playing good football in spurts, in quarters and halves, not a whole game. And we're really going to need it because we can't beat Seattle, it seems like. I do not like playing Seattle. For some reason, they're like a thorn in our side, So we really need this win. And I believe that we're going to get it. We've been so close playing Seattle in the last couple years, but we just keep falling short for some reason, So the offense, like I said, got back to smash mouth football. That is the recipe for the Detroit Lions to make a deep run, get to the Super Bowl, and hopefully win it. Okay? We let Jared Goff play off of our running game. Listen, we have a ton of weapons, and it makes it easier for those weapons and Jared when we are running the football. They can't stack the box because we have too many weapons on the outside. We just have too many. So we're always going to, and then I believe we have the best offensive line in football. We're always going to be able to get the necessary yardage to be effective. And that's all we need to do. We just need to be effective, and then the play action opens up. And now they have to honor the passing. And now we get back to smashing the football. The Lions are one of a few teams in the NFL who can run and pass and be an effective both ways. The Lions can pass the ball and win that way. But like I said, anything over 33 pass attempts, Jared Goff starts to get a little shaky. That's not what he does. He's not a Matt Stafford. He's not a Patrick Mahomes. He's not a Josh Allen. That's not him. His job is just to manage the football game. He can have every now and then a game with high attempts, high completions, and great numbers, but that's just not what we want to do. That's not what we want to do. We want to play to our strength, which is running the football and then play action off that. Like I said earlier, Marcus Davenport, Derek Barnes put on IR, hoping the best for Derek. If he can come back, I'm not sure. But like I said before, I believe Marcus is out for the year. I touched on Frank already. Brian Branch, I believe he's in concussion protocol. So I don't think he will be available for the Seattle game, which will hurt. It's definitely going to hurt. He's a very important piece. But, next man up. Next man up. The next man up isn't as good as Derek. Isn't as good as Brian, but, we just need somebody to fill his spot, and everybody just step up. Everybody step up, and we should be okay. We're playing at home. We're going to have a nice advantage at Ford Field. So, I know the crowd is going to show up. It's going to be crazy. They're wearing their black uniforms. I can't wait to see how they look on TV, popping off on TV like that, man. Those are some slick unis, and I like them. Getting back to what I wanted to talk about after the Arizona game is Seattle. Man, I looked up a couple things, and the last, I think, 11 meetings, us playing Seattle, man, it's 9-2. They have 9 out of the last 11 meetings. They have 9 wins. They have 9 wins, and they've won 6 in a row. And I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about Seattle, but we just have a hard time playing them. They're 3-0 this year, even though they really haven't beat anyone of significance. All three teams they beat, they've got one win. They beat the Broncos 26-20. They beat the Patriots 23-20, and they just beat the Dolphins 24-3. The Dolphins don't have Tua. So you can't really take anything from that. Like I said, all three teams they beat, they're 1-2. So I believe if the Lions come out and play their game, don't try to be cute. Don't try to be the smartest person in the room. I think Coach Campbell, he just needs to play football. Get back to the basics. You don't need to prove this or that or Jared Goff is this or that. Give the ball to the running backs and make it do what it do. I believe I saw a statistic where our running back duo, Montgomery and Gibbs, are the first running back duo since 2006 to have 70 or more scrimmage yards each in the first three games. Both of them at least 70 scrimmage yards in each game for the first three games. The first running back duo since 2006. So that is saying something. We really got an advantage in that backfield, man. And hopefully we continue to lean on it, to use it to our advantage, So that's really what I just wanted to touch on, talk about. Like I said, the Lions, hopefully that offense clicks. We scored 20 points in the first half against Arizona. And I know I'm jumping all over the place. But there's a lot of things I just did want to touch. So, like I said, hopefully we can start putting together a full game. I don't know if it's the play calling or I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know what's going on, but we need to put a whole complete game together. We haven't done it yet, and it's imperative we do it against Seattle. If Frank can't go, it's going to hurt. This is not a must win. Okay, it's the fourth week of the season. It's not a must win, but it'd be nice to win the game. Hopefully Frank can go. And we need to look at other options to help Aiden out. I know Cincinnati is not playing that good. They have somebody over there. I'm not going to go into names because I haven't heard anything. But they have somebody over there who could be available, especially with the way their season is starting. And we'll see what happens. But I thank you for joining me. Once again, if you like the content, you like the video, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It will really help me out and help us out towards our goal of getting 500 subscribers. So until then, everybody have a good day, have a good night, wherever you are, and God bless.